Kyle, so good to see you. This video is for anyone who is interested in a Roth conversion and is under 59 and a half. This is a must see to avoid a common penalty. So if you are under 59 and a half, Roth conversions can still be a very powerful tax strategy, but only if you handle the tax bill correctly. If not, you could trigger this 10% penalty. So why is paying the conversion taxes with outside after tax money so important for investors under 59 and a half?
Hey, Erin. Yeah, I'm glad we're doing this one because, in my opinion, this is one of the biggest gotchas out there. And you have to be
Absolutely.
really careful with this one. What we're talking about here is if you're under 59 and a half and you do a Roth conversion from your traditional IRA over to your Roth and you withhold taxes out of that transaction and you send some of that money out to the IRS, that amount that you withhold for tax, that is going to be treated as a distribution and you're under
Right.
59 and a half. So it's subject to that 10% penalty. That's why it's so critically important to have some money set aside for that. This image right here, this is the tax brackets for 2026. And you can see if you're somebody that's earning probably 200 to 250,000 in taxable income each year, baseline, what you're going to be paying on your Roth conversion is going to be about 32%.
Right.
So if you did, for example, $100,000 conversion that year, and you want to withhold at minimum 32%, your effective rate may be different, but you want to withhold that 32%. That 32,000 would be subject, in my example, to that 10% distribution penalty because you're under 59 and a half. So you want to be really careful and tactful with how you do this.
hmm So why do you think this rule catches people off guard?
I just think it's not an instinctual, thing that you would think of. You're like,
Right.
oh, okay, I'm doing my conversion. I'm going to pay the taxes anyway, right? Why would they hit me with this 10% penalty? Well, not everything is perfectly 100% logical through and through. Sometimes there's areas where you just got to be aware of the rules and the way that they're written. And,
Right.
and that's just one of those situations.
Right. So then, Kyle, how do you help younger clients determine whether they're in the right financial position to cover those taxes out of pocket?
It's 100% building a plan, Aaron. That's
Right.
exactly what it is. A lot of people, Roth is so popular. You're probably going to go watch 3 more Roth videos after you watch this one. But, so many people make it sound like you have to do it immediately and it has to be all 1 year, one and done. We're going to do the whole thing Roth. That's not the way you should approach it. At best, you should build a plan to do it over a period of years with an advisor, somebody that you trust that can do some of the tax modeling for you and help you figure this out.
Yeah. And show you how much you end up saving when you're paying those taxes with after tax money as opposed to doing it through the conversion. So, as you were just mentioning, it does seem like everyone is talking about Roth conversions these days. Why is that?
Well, my personal opinion, I don't think that the traditional IRA is the best way to go for saving your money exclusively. Things have obviously changed over the last 50, 60, 70 years. Enter Roth is a newer concept. And right now, we look at our tax code and, the Tax Cut Jobs Act was extended with the new Big Beautiful Bill Act that came
Right.
out. So we're going to be in historically low tax rates. I mean, you look at the marginal tax rate, the effective rate people pay on tax, and the higher earnings. That's what you got on the screen. We're looking at historically really low rates relative to a long period of history. And remember, those Roth distributions, once you check all the boxes, those distributions are going to be tax free to you, after you're 59 and a half, of course.
Right.
But it all comes down to making a plan. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to put 100% of my money in Roth. I just have to do it over 5 years. Like I said earlier, maybe you just want to have a healthy mix. You could have some pre-tax money. It's not the end of the world, but you don't want to hit retirement with 100% of your money in that tax deferred account, for example. And the image that you got up here, there's 3 broadly understood categories of money under our tax code. One's the tax-free, like the Roth IRAs, like we talked about. Once you check all the boxes, the tax-deferred accounts, your 401ks, the traditional IRAs, you are going to owe taxes when you distribute those eventually. And then we've got our individual accounts, things like brokerage accounts where, we can invest and pay some taxes along the way. You build a
Yeah.
cost basis. So it's good to diversify your your investment portfolio, maybe across some of these different types of money.
Right. And again, having a plan means taking a look at those tax triangles, making sure that we are properly tax diversified for retirement, which is so important. So, Kyle, if somebody would like to sit down with you, crunch the numbers for Roth conversions, talk to you about tax diversity, what's the best way to reach you?
Absolutely. The best way is through our website. That's firstcoastfinancialgroup.com.
Great. Kyle, thank you.
Thank you so much, Erin.